Wow, October is turning out to be a busy tech month. Let's check out the new sky blue iPad Air 4. Unless you want a very small or large iPad, I think this is the iPad to get now. Hi, this is David of Tech for Baba, a channel I share my experiences on how technology enhances my time with kids and family as a dad. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please consider subscribing. Just a quick unboxing and first impressions video of the new sky blue color iPad Air 4 I just got. It now looks just like the iPad Pro, but there are still a few differences I'll touch on. I've made a video on simple criteria you can use to decide which iPad to get these days. I'll link it here and below in the descriptions. Nice Apple packaging as usual, with the blue graphics indicating this is the new sky blue color iPad Air inside. This box is much tighter than usual to open up. But here it is. I've heard that the new sky blue color is rather faint, and that's true now that I've seen it in person. If I put it against a white background or under brighter sunlight, I could clearly see that it's blue. However, under most lights indoors, it's actually grayish, kind of between the familiar silver and space gray. Here's a space gray iPad Pro 12.9 inch for comparison. I like the new sky blue color. Sets it apart from a sea of silver and space gray iPads. Subtly different without being too loud. The iPad Air 4 still comes with a charger. Yay, thanks Apple. And it's the new 20-watt charger too. A USB-C to USB-C charging cable is also included. Aside from the new color, it looks just like an iPad Pro for the most part. It has the flat edge design like the iPad Pro and the new iPhone 12, which I prefer. It looks modern and sleek. Also, the iPad Air now works with the Apple Pencil too, just like the iPad Pro. It just sticks to the side to pair and charge. No more awkward charging with the Apple Pencil 1. There's also a smart connector in the back, just like the iPad Pro, so that the iPad Air works with the Magic Keyboard. I think Apple Pencil and the Magic Keyboard are the two most transforming accessories for iPad. Check out my review of the Magic Keyboard in an earlier video. I'll post it here and down below in the descriptions. It now has USB-C for charging and file transfers. The data rate is only 5 gigabit per second instead of the 10 on the iPad Pro, but it still charges faster and connects to accessories more easily than the Lightning port, so I will take it. There are a few more differences. There is only a main wide camera in the back, and there is no flash. I think that's fine for an iPad since I use my iPhone for pictures much more than my iPads anyway. The other difference is the new Touch ID sensor built into the power button. You can see the power button is now bigger and longer with a glassy surface for fingerprint sensor. It's a bit harder to train the Touch ID since the sensor is narrow and long. I set it up with both my index fingers so I can easily unlock the iPad in either the portrait or the landscape orientation. Even though there's a limited slot for Touch ID, there's a trick I found where you can train multiple fingers to the same slot, so you can unlock with every one of your fingers if you like. All you need to do is alternating your fingers during the training process like so. It just takes some getting used to the Touch ID again. Some people like the Face ID more and some prefer the Touch ID, especially nowadays with masks. Face ID is easier though if the iPad is used with the Magic Keyboard as a laptop. I'm okay either way, maybe it's just asking too much, but having both on the next iPhone or iPad or MacBook will be great. Another difference is the screen. Not so much the size, which is only 0.1 inch different, but the screen refresh rate. The screen for the new iPad Air, just like the regular iPad and all the iPhones, has a 60 Hz refresh rate. iPad Pro screen has ProMotion, which can go all the way up to a refresh rate of 120 Hz. This makes scrolling and gaming faster. It also has a lower latency when you draw with the Apple Pencil. When I use them side by side, I could see the iPad Pro screen scroll smoother. It's very nice, but to be honest, I don't really miss it too much. The other difference is in the speakers. Even though there are 4 sets of speaker vents, 2 on each side of the iPad Air, just like the iPad Pro, the iPad Air only has 2 speakers, 1 on each side. While it's nice to have a stereo sound when you watch movies or videos in landscape mode now, the 4-speaker sound system on the iPad Pro sounds much better. It's hard to hear the difference through YouTube, but the best way for me to describe it is the iPad Pro just sounds a lot more 3D and immersive. While I can clearly hear the difference in the speakers, it's not a huge deal for my use case since I mostly just watch YouTube videos on my iPad. So the 2 stereo speakers are more than good enough. One thing I realized as I was looking for cases for my new iPad Air 4 is even though it could share most of the accessories with the 11-inch iPad Pro, cases that cover up the sides won't work because iPad Air 4 has a much bigger power button. The USB-C connector, the volume buttons, even the speaker vents all match. Just the bigger power and Touch ID button doesn't. Cases that doesn't cover up the side edges, like the magnetic ones, do still work. That's it for now. Time to set this up and see if I could tell any difference in the performance. There is that one other major difference I haven't mentioned. The new iPad Air 4 has the latest A14 Bionic chip, which has faster single-core and graphic performance than the 2020 iPad Pro. Multi-core performance is slower, but not by much. Check out my video on which iPad to get linked below in the descriptions if you want all the details. In any case, I think this new iPad Air 4 is the iPad to get for most people, unless you want an iPad that's very small or very large. At least until the new A14 base iPad Pro comes out. Did I already mention I love this new sky blue color? Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, please smash that like button and share this video with others. Are you getting a new iPad? I'd love to hear which model and color you're considering and why in the comment section below. If you want to see more videos on how technology can enhance our life with kids and family, please subscribe and turn on the bell to be notified when I put out my next video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, cherish each moment.